All the babies in my village have been crying nonstop for 3 months, and the only person who can silence them is a woman everyone's too afraid to go near. I live in a quiet little village, the kind where everybody knows each other, or at least we used to. But lately, the air here has been poisoned by the sound of babies crying. Not just one or two, every newborn. Day and night, the screams never stop. At first, we thought it was some kind of sickness, or maybe the water, but doctors found nothing. And when the sun goes down and you hear 20, 30 babies wailing in unison, it feels like the walls of your mind start to crack. Sleep has vanished. Families don't talk anymore. Couples fight constantly. The sound follows you everywhere, into your bed, into your dreams. And then there's Gertrude. She's old, hunched, and everyone swears she practices black magic. Most people avoid her house altogether, but the strangest thing is, when Gertrude gets near a crying baby, the wailing stops. Instantly. You'd think desperate parents would be rushing to her, but nobody dares. Because once you hand your baby over to Gertrude, you don't really get them back. But the Connolly family learned that the hard way. Their baby girl screamed for weeks, until they finally broke down and brought her to Gertrude. And yes, the silence was beautiful. For the first time in months, they slept. But soon after, their daughter was gone. And Gertrude, she didn't look old anymore. She looked young, a baby. The baby grew into a man who called himself Tobias. He spoke with the wisdom of someone centuries old, but the hunger in his eyes told us what he really was. Tobias was the curse reborn. Now the cycle had changed. Babies would only stop crying near him. Temptation was unbearable. Do you know what 3 months of screaming does to a human mind? It destroys it. Some parents gave in. The Pollock family couldn't take it anymore. When they laid their baby next to Tobias, the silence was like heaven itself. But just like before, Tobias shrank into a crying baby. And their daughter Shelley grew into a woman overnight. She was cold, commanding, and terrifying. In her first act, she sacrificed baby Tobias, feeding the curse so it could grow stronger. One by one, families fell into the trap. Each time the cycle repeated. Gertrude, Tobias, Shelley, each one reborn through someone else's suffering. The village became a carousel of monsters, passing the curse like a torch, fueled by the innocence of our children. But still, the crying never stopped. The Hanson family was the last to resist. Their baby boy James cried so hard, neighbors said the sound could break glass. His parents looked like walking corpses. Finally, they caved. They brought him to Shelley, and you already know what happened next. James grew into a man before their eyes. Shelley shrank back into an infant. And James, who had been nothing but a baby hours before, spoke with a grown man's voice. And then he picked up the infant Shelley. He didn't hesitate. He sacrificed her to keep the magic alive. And now the crying hasn't stopped, but it only goes quiet when you're close to James. Parents try to resist, but every day I hear them breaking, one by one. And I keep wondering, when my turn comes, will I be strong enough, or will I hand my baby over to the curse too?